The Genesis 6 narrative states that the Nephilim are on the earth in those days and also afterwards. If that's true, can we find evidence that corroborates this? I'm L.A. Marzulli. Join me as we go on the trail of a Nephilim. There is a hidden history that's been deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world, and that's why I am on the trail of a Nephilim. I'm your intrepid host, L.A. Marzulli. This is another episode of On the Trail, and we'll get back into it. But first, a word from our trusted sponsor. Before trying anti-aging serums or wrinkle creams, check if you're getting enough collagen first. Collagen is a protein that plays a crucial role in maintaining the health and elasticity of our skin. Without it, we may notice visible signs of aging, like fine lines and wrinkles. While collagen production naturally declines as we age, certain collagen supplements can help bring back a youthful glow like you wouldn't believe. This is why I highly recommend taking collagen. Collagen is specially formulated to enhance skin elasticity and hydration. It's made with the top 5 most powerful types of collagen that are essential for skin health, elasticity, and firmness. Folks, with only 10 grams of bioactive collagen peptides per serving, collagen is designed to make it easy to boost your collagen levels to support healthier skin. Try it today and receive 53% off, free shipping, free VIP live health and fitness coaching for life. What a great deal. And also a free new e-report titled The 14 Foods for Amazing Skin, and a 60-day money-back guarantee. So folks, if you don't see it working, they'll give you your money back. Plus, you'll also help feed a hungry child, families and communities in need of healthier lives with your order through BioTrust partnership with NoKidsHungry.org. What a great company. Check it out today. Go to healthwithla.com, healthwithla.com, or please click the link right below here in our description box. A lot of stuff going on the internet. You can't trust anything anymore. Brendy Wells of John B. Wells' show, obviously his wife, sent me a picture, and I immediately sent it over to Scott Carpenter, who joins us today. And the deal is this. I looked at it, and at first glance, it's like, wow, it's really far out. And then I started looking at it more, and it's like, it's around the shoulder, the hair, Photoshop maybe? So I sent it over to Scott, and Scott said, this is what AI is doing. So we're going to get into that because it sort of begs the question, why are they doing this? What they're doing is completely muddying the waters. Now it's even harder to tell what's real and what's fake, and who do we believe. So anyway, folks, here's our good friend Scott Carpenter, Bigfoot researcher. He's been on the show numerous times. Scott, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good to be back with you. Yeah, these, I've been getting a lot, just like you have. Because I got friends in the community and even outside the community. It's even gotten family members and, hey man, look at this, here's a Sasquatch, here's a Sasquatch, with a person. Right. This is crazy. That's like, taken in the late 1800s. And so, a little investigation and this AI is really becoming rampant. We both know where this is leading, whether it's AI photographs, AI is writing papers, AI is doing analytical things, it's slowly, being distributed and pushed out in all kinds of facets of our lives. It's kind of scary, to be honest.
I'm right there with you. It's at the point where what's real and what isn't real. And the fact that the writers strike in Hollywood, they're striking because AI can just turn out a script like in 30 seconds. It's exactly. Like, you may have to go in and mess with it, but I can't turn a script out in 30 seconds. It's ridiculous. So it's, but what bothers me about this And I remember about 15 years ago, they started all of a sudden out of nowhere. You saw these photoshopped large skeletons, large skulls, people with a wheelbarrow taking this large skull, a huge skeleton exhumed. And you can tell, I mean, at least I could tell, Photoshop, but why are they doing this? Why go after that in particular? I mean, it's just, wow. It's what it does, as I said in the open, it just obfuscates everything to the point where, let's say you had a photograph from the 1800s that you found, and it was the real deal. No one would believe it. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think, it's almost a way to continue to express the subject and keep the, the giants and that sort of thing still pushed away. This is more, because if you start thinking, if you got Nephilim and you got the Sasquatch and you got the other cryptids, it really shines the light on the biblical narrative. And it, in those days and then afterwards, and it was more than just giants, as we know. And I think for whatever the reason, right now they're still wanting to keep that suppressed. And by, when I was involved in the DNA study, which you had your own,
right?
That was one of their tactics, was to muddy the water, was to find anything to disparage it and to mislead or cause, what we call the normies, those who just, they saw an article, so they go look it up, and it's just, it's so full of contradictions and that sort of thing. And like you say, they can't tell what's real, and that's what this AI is doing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you Google Sasquatch pictures, you're going to start getting these AIs. And same thing with videos. Now the videos are the same. I mean, you can tell the AI to do a video, give it certain specifications. It can go search the internet. It can put something together that looks, extremely real. And so it's going to be very difficult. Like if I came forward, let's say, next week, I was fortunate enough to get 2 or 3 seconds of a very good 4K video. I would dare say that 50% or more are going to immediately go, it's CGI, it's AI. No one's going to, no one's going to take it seriously.
And it becomes, like I said, the reason why we're doing this show, it becomes problematic. The fact that Brendy Wells sends me this picture, and I looked at it, I just went, oh my gosh, because it's a 13-footer, 12 to 14 feet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really big, and it's got that little, this big bruise on my knee, and it's got some walking stick thing, and I mean, it looks, and the guy next to it, I mean, he looks authentic. I mean, everything about it, it looks authentic. I mean, it's really amazing, but exactly. It's not, and that's problematic.
Yeah, and they're showing up, like I said, they're showing up everywhere. It's all like in Facebook and other social media.
Yeah, it's everywhere now.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It is everywhere.
So what this does, and the reason why we're doing the show, it maligns your research, it maligns my research, because we're into looking for giant skeletons. So I mean, let's say we're lucky enough to find a large skeleton in a cave someplace, which they didn't get them all. They've got to be around somewhere. So we do that. Immediately, people are going to go, oh, they've been looking for this. The whole thing's a hoax. They're just trying to make money. I mean, it's like at the point, no matter what you do, people say it's AI, it's fake, it's this, but it's not. And so it's really a damper, not only on the writers and the writers' strike, but it's a damper on researchers like ourselves.
I think people just have to be very discerning now, and they have to take almost every photograph, every video with a grain of salt.
Yep.
Knowing that it could be, it could be fake, it could actually be AI, and it's almost, you got to go back to the source, and you got to trust the source. If the person's trustworthy, as a source, can do a follow-up, can go back to the location, what I'm saying, hold up a newspaper of the day's date or what, some sort of verification like that. I mean, it's getting that stringent in order, for someone to put some sort of, a video forward that has all the, its credibility and the credentials. You just, the days of, oh, I just got it and here it is, and here's my video camera and I'm going to post it. Those days are gone.
And this is the problem, even, with just us as researchers, but then you extrapolate that on a global level. What do you trust? What news can we trust? I mean, we don't know what we're even looking at anymore. So it's.
I agree. Discernment is the name of the game now.
Yes, it is.
I really do think that. I think it's going to get more difficult, not easier, to tell the real from the fake.
So as usual, after the cameras go off, Scott and I are talking, and I realize, oh my gosh, we need to talk about this. So in the book of Revelation, it talks about the beasts of the earth. And the late Russ Disdar used to joke from the platform numerous times, we're not talking about hamsters and giraffes. So we know that there's been this just explosion of Sasquatch sightings. You know, when you go back to Gimli Patterson, you know, there's like one sighting, and then, you know, 3 or 4 years later, there's another sighting, but now it's just like they're everywhere. So is it possible, and this is my question to you, Scott, is it possible that Sasquatch are the beasts of the earth, the Therion? What are your thoughts?
I agree with your assessment. I think they are. I think them and these other cryptids we're seeing are these beasts, and they're being pre-positioned.
Yep.
You know, when I first started researching you know, it was generally thought, oh, these things are very rare, very few, and out in the wilderness somewhere. You got to go to the, you know, Washington State, or, you know, into the, you know, Canada. And no, not really. They're literally just right on the outskirts of our communities, and sometimes living in our communities, and, you know, in state parks or woodlots or even abandoned buildings. They are, in my opinion, it looks like they're staging. You know, there's little pockets of,
yep.
You know, little clans are popping up, and then they're growing their populations, and I would estimate, based on, like one person asked me one time, just based on the individual Sasquatch that I identified in this one area, and then doing the math in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, say that 3 times real fast. There's about 300 at the time, about 300,000. Now that's a 50,000 acre, 50,000 acre park, or 500,000 acre park. That's a huge park, but still. But based on the number that in the area that, I had 12 individuals in like a 2 or 3 mile area. So you do the math, and so, either they're being drawn to me, or if that's the norm, that's quite a few individuals. And I think it's it's growing greater. I think the population of the United States is in the millions. I really do. A lot of people scoff at that, but I really do. And then that's just the Sasquatch. We got to look at the
Dogman,
the dog man, the lizard man. Yep. I mean, the goat man. I mean, they're everybody again scoffs at this stuff, but those are coming in as well. It's just not it's just not now as the Sasquatch. It's all these different creatures.
It's almost like the enemy is, like you said, is pre-positioning his troops. I mean, he's getting them ready for a strike. This is what you would do, and the Greek word is therion, and again, it's not hamsters and giraffes. So are we looking at wild bears? I'm not buying that for a second. And whatever these things are, I mean, they wipe out a good portion of the folks, and this is why I think it is Sasquatch, Dogman, whatever. I mean, the terror, the fear factor would be through the roof, first of all. And we've heard stories where they materialize and they dematerialize. So now what are we looking at?
They open and use portals.
Yep.
They can cloak and decloak, and the Bible says that men's hearts will faint for fear. And if some of these Sasquatches look very human-like, others don't. And the dog man is extremely fierce looking. I mean, everybody describes it. It's just like, the creature you would see in a werewolf.
Yeah, I don't want to see one of those things.
And but that's what I'm saying. If you saw one, I mean, people have, even with just a regular Sasquatch, when I say regular, I mean one that's more human looking, that's 8, 10, 12 foot tall, 1,200 pounds. People have it's a life altering. I mean, there's a fear there that's almost unnatural. And they talk about, it onset of PTSD and having all kinds of trouble. People won't ever go back out in the wilderness, or, won't go hunting again or fishing or whatever activity they were doing. I mean, it's that traumatic.
I'm right. Look, I mean, I get it. You see something like that, it's life changing. I'll give you the last word, Scott. Thanks so much for coming on again.
Oh, you're welcome. Like you, I agree. I think these creatures are being prepositioned, that they are the beasts of the field, and time is getting near. I really do think that.
There you have it, folks. Scott Carpenter. Scott, give us your website again, please.
The Sasquatch Awareness Project.com. SasquatchAwarenessProject.com. Just type that in Google.
SasquatchAwarenessProject.com. Scott, thanks so much for joining us, folks. We've got the 5 DVD box set, LAMarzulli.net. LAMarzulli.net. I will be in Ohio at the Go Therefore conference with a whole host of people. We had Mike Spalding on Monday's show. So, things are heating up, and I hope that you purchase a ticket and get there. There's a lot of information. You're going to want to check that out. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, there is a hidden history that's been deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world, and that's why we are on the trail of the NEPHILIM. Thanks for watching.